Poisson distribution. In this video, I will be giving a short introduction to Poisson distribution. I will explain where we use Poisson distribution, how we use it, what is the formula for calculating probability using Poisson distribution. I will solve a few simple problems, and I will also show a C# source code to calculate and plot Poisson probabilities. Now, what is Poisson distribution? Poisson distribution is one of commonly used discrete probability distributions. Note the word discrete. So the variable for which we are calculating probability using this distribution cannot have continuous values. It can have only discrete values. To be more precise, it can take non-negative integer values such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Poisson distribution describes the probability of a given number of occurrences of an event in a given unit. That unit can be unit of anything, unit of space, unit of time, for example per square kilometer, per second, per hour, per 100 trials of an experiment and so on. Probability mass function of Poisson distribution is P of x equals e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power x divided by factorial of x. Now what is lambda? Lambda is called the parameter of Poisson distribution. In fact, Poisson distribution has only one parameter, lambda. This lambda is equal to population mean, that is average number of occurrences of the event per unit. And in Poisson distribution, lambda is also equal to population variance. So this means that in Poisson distribution, population mean and population variance both are equal to lambda. So you know that if we have to calculate population standard deviation, it will be equal to square root of lambda. So this formula P of x equals e to the power minus lambda, lambda by x divided by factorial of x, that tells what is the probability that there will be x occurrences of the event in a given unit. Now when do we use Poisson distribution? As I said, it is used to find the probability of a given number of occurrences of an event in a given unit. However, there are certain conditions that should be satisfied where this distribution is useful. One is that the occurrences of the event are independent of each other. What it really means is that the number of occurrences of the event in one instance of the unit is independent of the number of occurrences of that event in another instance of that unit. For example, if we want to use Poisson distribution to model the number of accidental deaths on a given road per day, then we are making assumption that the number of accidental deaths on that road on a given day is independent of the number of accidental deaths on that road on some other day. So they are independent of each other. And as you know that for Poisson distribution we need to have the value of lambda, that is the average number of occurrences of the event per unit should be known. However, in practice we even estimate it by assuming that population mean is approximately equal to sample mean, and this will be a good approximation if the sample size is large. Often we use Poisson distribution as an approximation to binomial distribution. However, note that Poisson distribution is useful for rarely occurring events, which means that the probability of success P in one trial should be small. Typically it should be less than 0.1, and when we use it as an approximation to binomial distribution, then another condition should be that the number of trials n should be large, and if these two conditions are satisfied, then we use the value lambda equals n into p. Let's solve some problems. A person makes 4 typing mistakes per page. What is the probability that he makes no typing mistake in a given page? It is given that he makes 4 typing mistakes per page. So lambda equals 4. Use the formula p of x equals e to the power minus lambda to the power x divided by factorial of x. Now we need to know the probability for making no typing mistake, which means that zero typing mistake. So substitute x is equal to 0, put the values, you will get 0.0183. Another problem, a person makes 4 typing mistakes per page. What is the probability that he makes at least one typing mistake in a given page? Here again lambda is equal to 4, and you know that the probability of at least one typing mistake equals 1 minus probability of making no typing mistake. We already calculated that the probability of making no typing mistake is 0.0183. So what is the probability of making at least one typing mistake? It will be 1 minus 0.0183, which means 0.9817. So there is 98.17% probability that the person makes at least one typing mistake on a given page. Here you have to be careful. There is a hospital. On an average, 15 patients having a certain disease visit the hospital in 1 week. What is the probability that 3 patients having that disease will visit the hospital on a given weekend, that is Saturday and Sunday? Now note that we have to find probability that 3 patients having that disease will visit the hospital on a given Saturday and Sunday, that is 2 days. So lambda should be average for 2 days. Now it is given that 15 patients having that disease will visit the hospital in 1 week, that is in 7 days. So 15 divided by 7, that is 2.143 patients in 1 day, which means 2.143 multiplied by 2, that is 4.286 patients in 2 days. So we will use this value 4.286 as the value of lambda, and in the problem we have to put x is equal to 3. So substitute the values, lambda is equal to 4.286 and x is equal to 3. Put the values, you will get around 0.180. Now here is a graph of Poisson distribution for various values of lambda. Now you know that Poisson distribution is a discrete probability distribution, but still you can see that the curves look continuous. That is because some interpolation methods have been used. Now this is the graph for lambda is equal to 1, and this is the graph for lambda is equal to 9. As you can see here, the graphs are positively skewed, that is skewed to the right, or in other words they have tail to the right. However, as you can notice that as lambda increases, the graph becomes more and more symmetric. You can calculate Poisson probability using Excel formula also. So let's say that you want to calculate for lambda is equal to, let's say, 4 and x is equal to 3. Okay, so probability that there will be 3 occurrences of an event in a given unit if the population mean is lambda per unit. So this is how I will calculate probability. So here I will use the formula is equal to, see this formula I will use Poisson dot dist. Okay, so first you have to put the value of x, then you have to put the value of mean, that is lambda. Okay, and we do not want commutative because we have to calculate probability for a given value of x, so we choose false. So this is how we calculate. Okay, now I will be showing a C# program for plotting Poisson distribution. This program is written using C# and WPF. As you can see, I have divided the window into 9 parts by 3 rows, row number 0, row number 1 and row number 2, and 3 columns, column number 0, column number 1 and column number 2. In the central cell, that is row 1 column 1, I will be plotting the graph. Here is the XAML file. Okay, as you can see here, I have put 3 columns of width ratio 1 is to 3 is to 1, and 3 rows of height ratio 1 is to 3 is to 1. Okay, and you can see here in row number 1 and column number 1, as I said, I am plotting the graph. So here I have put a canvas which I have named as graph paper. Okay, and at the bottom I have put a horizontal line. This is x axis. On the left of the canvas I have put a vertical line which is y axis, and there is a text box on left of the canvas, that is row number 1 column number 0. Okay, where the user will be entering the value of lambda. Now let's see the source code. Okay, max div is equal to 20. I am assuming that we will be plotting a graph for x is equal to 0 to maximum x is equal to 20 we will go. In fact, in this program it is less than 20, so up to 19 only we are going. So accordingly we will decide the scale on x axis. Okay, graph paper dot children dot clear, that is because when we plot the graph we create vertical lines to show the probabilities, and if we calculate probability, that is plot a graph for one value of lambda, and after that user wants to plot again graph for another value of lambda, then the previous graphs would be erased. That's why this statement I have put graph paper dot children dot clear. Now here choose the scale, the total width divided by max division, which I have put as 20, this constant. Okay, this is for deciding the scale on x axis. Okay, this is the lambda. I am taking the value of lambda from the text box. Now in a for loop, from x is equal to 0 to x less than max division, I am calculating the value of probability using the same formula which I explained, e to the power minus lambda into lambda to the power x divided by factorial of x. This is a function which calculates the factorial of x by using iteration. Okay, so it calculates the probability, right? And you can see here I am taking y as 2 into graph paper dot actual height into probability. The reason I have put this scale, because I am assuming that on the y axis we can go till maximum 0.5 probability. So this means that we should put a graph paper dot actual height into probability divided by 0.5, or you know that divided by 0.5 is equivalent to multiplying by 2. This is simply for scale. Okay, now I create a vertical line. Okay, in the x and y values I have given some color to it. Okay, some thickness to the line, and I add that line into graph paper dot children, and that is how we do for other x values. See the source code again. Okay, let's put the value of lambda. Let's say for lambda is equal to 1. So this is the graph for lambda is equal to 1. Let's put another value of lambda 2. Okay, let's say lambda is equal to 6. As you can see here, as we increase the value of lambda as expected, the graph is becoming more and more symmetrical. So try for lambda is equal to 9. Okay, graph is becoming more and more symmetrical. However, you might have noticed that for every value of x, we are using that formula to calculate the value of probability. So every time we have to calculate the factorial, every time we have to calculate e to the power minus lambda. But there is one way by which we can make the execution faster. For that, see the recursive definition of Poisson probability. You know, p of x equals e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power x divided by factorial of x. Now this lambda to the power x can be written as lambda to the power x minus 1 into lambda. Factorial of x can be written as factorial of x minus 1 into x. Now look at this value, e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power x minus 1 divided by factorial of x minus 1. As you can see, this is equal to p of x minus 1. So p of x equals p of x minus 1 into lambda by x. Okay. So what we can do is that we can calculate the value of probability for x is equal to 0. So for x is equal to 0, substitute x is equal to 0, you will get e to the power minus lambda, lambda to the power 0 divided by factorial 0. This is equal to e to the power minus lambda. So this gives the probability for x is equal to 0. Multiply e to the power minus lambda with lambda divided by 1. That is the probability for x is equal to 1. Multiply that with lambda divided by 2. That is the probability for lambda for x is equal to 2, and so on. So that the execution will be faster. So I have written one source code for that also. This is the program I have written. See, I am taking the value of lambda from the text box. This time you can see here I have put x is equal to 0 as I am calculating probability first for x is equal to 0. So what is the probability? E to the power minus lambda. Okay. While x less than 20. So what I do is that, just like in the previous program, I plot the probability as a straight line. Okay. Then I take the next value of x, multiply the previous probability with lambda divided by x. That will give probability for x is equal to 1. The loop will continue. Next time it will give probability for x is equal to 2, and so on. This program also works the same way. Now you know that x should be non-negative integer values. However, lambda need not be integer. It can even be fractional. For example, let's say that I put 5.3. So that is also possible. So hope this program is, and in general this video is useful for you. Thank you.